Building a speaker that just like blares at top volume. Surprisingly easy.
Oh, absolutely. Pushing massive amounts of air really isn't a complex engineering feat.
Right. The real acoustic holy grail is maintaining that rich depth and crystal clear clarity when the volume is turned all the way down, like down to a whisper.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
Exactly. So welcome to your custom deep dive. Today, our mission is to decode the technical specs of the QSC AD-S.SAT-BK. It's a 2.75-inch acoustic design surface loudspeaker.
We're going to uncover the hidden engineering behind commercial background audio.
Yeah. Because when you are having a conversation in a cafe, you want the music to sound full without needing to shout over it,
Right, exactly. That low-volume clarity problem is notoriously difficult to solve, and this tiny passive speaker is built specifically to conquer it.
Okay, let's unpack this. Looking at the physical specs, we're dealing with a 2.75-inch paper cone woofer and an inverted aluminum dust cap.
All packed into a sealed enclosure, yeah.
Right, so think of that paper cone like a lightweight sail. It doesn't need a hurricane-force breeze to start moving.
Which is why you get responsive, clear midtones even at very low power.
But wait, do these specific materials, like the paper and aluminum, directly solve the low-volume clarity problem?
Well, what's fascinating here is how the aluminum material balances that out. I mean, the paper handles the mids, but the rigid aluminum cap acts almost like a stiff shock absorber.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it keeps the high frequencies sharp instead of letting them wobble when the electrical power drops. So together, they push an effective frequency range of 150 hertz to 20 kilohertz.
So the music doesn't suddenly sound muffled or muddy just because the volume dial's at a 2 instead of a 10.
Exactly. But there's a catch, right? You engineer a speaker that sounds crystal clear at a whisper in an acoustic lab, but
A bustling restaurant or a retail store isn't a pristine lab.
oh, not at all. It's hot, the humidity fluctuates, and space is at an absolute premium.
Right, which is where the physical housing has to catch up to the internal acoustics.
Exactly. I mean, it weighs just 0.9 pounds.
Wow, less than a pound.
Yeah. And it carries an IP34 rating, meaning it actively resists dust intrusion and splashing water.
Oh, that's incredibly useful.
Plus, it mounts on this X-mount mini bracket that rotates on all four 90-degree axes. It lets installers tuck it safely out of the way.
Okay, but wait, looking at the electrical specs, I'm stuck on something.
What's that?
Well, it lists a high 16-ohm impedance and only 25 watts of power handling. I mean, 25 watts seems incredibly weak for a loud, crowded commercial space.
It really does sound weak at first glance.
Right. Is this tiny speaker actually going to be heard?
Well, it sounds weak until you realize what those specific numbers are actually achieving. A 16-ohm impedance means this speaker resists the electrical current more than your standard home theater speaker.
Okay, so why do that?
Installers do that specifically so they can daisy chain a dozen of these units on a single amplifier.
Without blowing out the whole system.
Exactly.
So it's about covering a wide commercial area efficiently with dozens of speakers, rather than just blasting one powerful speaker from a corner.
You got it.
And I assume the low 25-watt limit is because it's delegating the heavy lifting.
Precisely. It is expressly designed to be a satellite speaker. It pairs with a subsat subwoofer or an external high-pass filter.
And a high-pass filter acts like an acoustic bouncer.
Right.
Right, like it literally blocks the heavy low bass frequencies from entering the speaker's circuitry.
You nailed it. That prevents the tiny paper woofer from destroying itself trying to produce bass.
So it doesn't even try to play those lows.
Right. It lets it focus 100% of its energy on those crisp mids and highs.
Here's where it gets really interesting. We're moving from the physical hardware to the audio tuning.
Right, the software side of things.
Yeah, because this little passive piece of hardware, meaning it has no built-in amplifier of its own, actually relies on a massive digital ecosystem to reach its full potential.
Oh, absolutely. The specs highlight compatibility with intrinsic correction voicings via the MPM series mixers and the QSYS platform.
Yeah, so how does that work?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is where modern acoustic engineering truly shines. I mean, intrinsic correction isn't just a basic treble or bass knob.
Right, it's way more advanced.
Yeah, it is sophisticated external digital signal processing. These voicings are complex digital profiles engineered for this exact speaker model.
Wait, so they map out the speaker's physical limitations?
Exactly. They map it out and use math to preemptively adjust the phase and equalization.
Wow.
It essentially alters the electrical signal before it even hits the wire, compensating for the messy acoustics of the room it's placed in.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, when you see this unit priced around $248, you're looking at serious commercial-grade sound architecture.
Definitely a solid investment for those spaces.
And get this, the manufacturer actually doubles the standard 3-year warranty to 6 years just for registering the product, which is the ultimate proof of how much engineering confidence they have in that IP34 weather resistance and sealed enclosure.
Right. They know this hardware will survive a greasy, humid restaurant environment for years.
You're banking on it, yeah.
So we've covered the physics of paper cones, impedance daisy chaining, and sophisticated digital voicings. I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. The next time you are sitting in a restaurant or browsing a retail store, just look up. Try to spot those tiny satellites tucked into the ceiling corners.
They're usually hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, and just consider how much invisible digital processing and rigorous physical acoustic engineering is actively shaping the background music you barely even notice.